rivaling the data-creating capabilities of smartphones. Bloomberg also notes that Intel announced a new stage of its Mobileye technology, which allows for driver assistance and Intel to gather data from cameras, chips, and sensors within the vehicle. Manhattan-based Clearview AI is collecting data from unsuspecting social media users, and the Chicago Police Department is using the controversial facial recognition tool to pinpoint the identity of unknown suspects. That's according to a report from the Chicago Times. And according to a bombshell New York Times report, it's also being used by the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security. Activist Post reports the software's creator maintains that it's purely an after-the-fact
Frustrated with his increased workload and a litany of interpersonal problems, CLG software project manager William Garston brought a list of grievances Thursday to his supervisor Todd Watkins, an utterly powerless office functionary with no actual ability to resolve any problems.
Oh, no. I'm really glad that you're bringing this to me. This is great.
The 15-minute interaction, which was taken seriously by both parties, involved Garston laying out a series of work-related issues he's had recently, absolutely none of which Watkins has even the slightest authority to address.
Again, I'm sorry to be bothering you with all this stuff, Todd. I've reached a point where I was not under the...
This is important. We're gonna sort all this out.
Sources added that throughout the conversation, Watkins continually nodded his head and repeatedly assured Garston that his problems would be considered a top priority, despite the fact that he lacked the necessary clout to foster any change whatsoever within the company.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
That's right, it is Free Talk Live. It's Mark with you.
And Alex.
Coming to you live from the U.S. Mariana Islands, where America's Day starts. We're closer to Beijing than we are to Washington, D.C., Alex.
Uh-oh. Should we be scared?
Well, everybody seems to be scared about this coronavirus. It's getting all the news.
Coronavirus? I heard it was called the Kung Fu flu.
Well, that's what we're calling it from on air from here on out. Kung Fu flu. Well, it kind of rhymes, right? That's fun.
Yeah.
So it's probably vaguely politically incorrect, but what do I care? So, what do we know about the coronavirus? Is it was started by some bad-eating Chinaman?
Allegedly, that's what they're saying.
Right. It could have. It's a zoo virus that I might have that right. I read this. I don't have it sitting here right here in front of me, but it can hop from animals to humans, and apparently in this. Wutang province of China, Wuhan province, pardon me, Wu-Tang Clan, protect your neck. So in this Wuhan province, they have some penchant for eating unusual things. Is that what you've read?
I don't think it's Wuhan specific,
okay.
And Wuhan's the
city.
Main city in the province,
in some province,
Hubei province.
Okay,
but yeah, it's Chinese have great palates. They love to taste new foods and spices, and sometimes there can be repercussions, it seems.
Okay. So we don't know for sure whether that's what it all came from, but that's what the story we're being fed. So should we be scared?
Well, it depends where you get your news, right?
The news wants us scared, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if they could put a map of the world up with fires and mudslides and AK-47s and, all that stuff, that's what they'd want, right?
Yeah. Well, it seems every time I check Bloomberg for the last week or two, it's this coronavirus front page. Be scared, be scared. And it almost makes me think there's something going on here. It seemed between this and the Iran incident recently, it seems like they're really trying to create some angst in 2020.
So would that be because they want a new president? The president we have is failing, or I mean, do you have any idea of this little theory you're working on?
Given Bloomberg running for presidency and his very vocal opposition to President Trump, I think that's a reasonable assumption that Bloomberg may be just a little bit anti-Trump, but I'm not sure. It's just speculation.
There was this great, there's this great GIF or GIF. Which one do you prefer?
GIF.
GIF. Okay, well, be sure that I use the term GIF. This great GIF on Twitter of Xi Jinping coughing twice, and then it just keeps rotating and rotating. So he's like,
uh-oh.
Right, we're all going to die.
Who's the vice president of China again?
Is he the president or the premier? What do they call him?
He's a man of many hats.
Grand Poobah?
I believe he's, Politburo commissioner, president, a commander of the People's Liberation Army, and also Uncle Xi, as he's referred to by his compatriots.
And some people call him Winnie the Pooh.
That's not allowed.
That's not allowed. In China. I'm not in China.
Wow. Indeed.
I mean, if they decide to keep me out, I suppose that's fine. I won't get to see the Great Wall. There you go. But I mean, I don't need to travel to China for anything in particular.
Well, right now, could you even travel to China if you wanted to?
I don't want to. Speaking of travels here, right? This particular island and some places around the world, there's been sort of, I don't know what term to use, voluntary travel bans? How do you call something a voluntary ban? A cessation of travel. Some Chinese airlines have just stopped flying to certain locations.
Well, it's not just Chinese airlines. It's many Western. I believe British Airways has either suspended or greatly reduced direct flights to China, Canadian Airlines, and many more. So it's pretty wild to see how quickly this relatively mundane virus has taken over.
Right, and when you say relatively mundane, I'm looking at this is NPR.org. The CDC estimates that at least 8,000 U.S. deaths from the flu so far this season. The same strategies to prevent the spread of this respiratory virus can help protect against the spread of the coronavirus. So the coronavirus, and this is deaths, 8,000 deaths, not cases, deaths. So the numbers we're getting for the coronavirus tends to be cases. But the deaths are, minuscule, very small compared to the amount of cases. So the coronavirus, if it's going to be some kind of world-destroying plague, a la yellow fever,
it's not doing a good job.
The bubonic plague or whatever. Yeah, at this point, it's ramping up a little slowly, and it seems like every few years we get one of these big medical scares. SARS, the avian flu. Maybe I'm repeating myself. I don't know. I just trying to go back through all the medical scares that have existed through time. And on one hand, yes, indeed, there will be some kind of plague that affects history. If everything remains the same, I don't know, if the singularity doesn't take effect or whatever, if medical science doesn't leap forward, but presumably it's possible that some kind of world-destroying plague could occur. It doesn't look like the coronavirus is that particular plague, but nonetheless, I think that it's, I can see why countries will use this as a opportunity to test some of their systems.
Yeah, see the reaction. See what people are willing to get on board with.
Right. Like what? Everybody has to stay in your house for the next 3 weeks, right? I don't know. Would they say that? Well, how are you gonna eat? Does everybody have 3 weeks worth of food?
Well, if they go to My Patriot Supply.
Indeed. And I guess I'm no supporter of this organizational model that we call the state that's been around for 9,000 years, top-down hierarchy that really doesn't serve. But if we're going to have states, I think that one of their most legitimate uses is to sort of do what they can to prevent the spread of these viruses, because effectively going out with an illness is aggression against your neighbor. Would you agree with that? Like you got a cold, And you go outside sniveling and coughing and all that stuff. You go to the gym, you work out, you're grabbing the weightlifting equipment and touching it with your...
I'm surprised, given the litigious society we live in, that there haven't been more cases on, he gave me the flu and therefore he's responsible for my death.
I think
Have you heard of any of those?
I haven't heard of that, but I certainly, people will say things like, you gave me the flu.
Yeah.
You know, you'll find them again or something. There'll be accusations of you did this or that sort of thing. And I mean, you know, at some point we're going to need to outlaw children. If this is the case, because they're awful little disease-carrying monsters.
What's next? Population control and global warming?
I'm all for population control. I'm not entirely... I think that the globe is warming. I'm not entirely sure why or how much or any of those things. But, you know... The problem with population control is it looks so bad, right? There's no good way to do it, and you know, people have no stomach for it. So you know, I don't think you should be able to tell somebody else whether or not they should be able to breed, but you should be able to make gifts or things like that contingent upon it. So, for instance, my little idea that the welfare system should be based entirely on vasectomies and what is it for women? Tubal ligations. You shouldn't be able to get it without those things. There's no stomach for that. As far as I'm concerned, if you admit readily that you can't handle life on life's terms and that you need help, fine, here's some help. But please, don't bring another generation and teach them how to fail.
Yeah.
Because that's what's happening.
Well, it's a tough sell for sure, but perhaps if you keep it up, you can convince more people.
Indeed. So I guess I must say that the coronavirus thing, admittedly, I'm on an island where we basically stopped flights from China. And there's very few people, no cases at this point, no cases of coronavirus on this island.
Have you
Here,
heard
Saipan.
of LibertyCon? LibertyCon is not only a convention with great speakers like Whole Foods CEO and co-founder John Mackey and Nobel Prize winner Vernon Smith, but it's also unique because you get a chance to network with more than 70 pro-liberty organizations, one-on-one for the purpose of career advancement, business, and internship opportunities. April 3rd through 5th in Washington, D.C. You can learn more by visiting LibertyCon.com and use code FTL for a $10 discount on your registration. That's LibertyCon.com. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Local.bitcoin.com.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McElvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
And if you thought things couldn't get more infantile and aesthetically insulting than Fergie, Kesha, or Katy Perry, then you obviously haven't met 22-year-old Karonica, the latest and most horrid, talent-bereft pop monstrosity the music industry has ever sadistically forced down the American public's collective throat. She's here with us in the studio right now.
What?
Now tell us, Karonica, how did you first decide that you wanted to be the cipher through which the cynicism of a morally bankrupt industry is channeled?
Yo, I just do what I do. Know what I'm saying? It's like people just love my ish.
Right. You are in the middle of your sold-out Damn Girl tour.
Damn Girl! That's right.
Which is a heinous slap in the face to the English language, and will also travel to 47 cities, sapping the intellects of every young person along the way.
I said, damn, girl. That's right.
There's no light in your eyes, Karonica.
I got nothing to say to the haters.
I hate you.
This is the Onion News Network.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer-term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever's on your mind. It's Mark with you.
And Alex.
Coming from the U.S. Mariana Islands. We're talking about the coronavirus here on the air. And
for those of you who missed the last session, Mark Edge was defending the state.
Well, defending the state. I said that I don't support this organizational model, but while we have it, I suppose I can give it a pass for attempting to prevent, worldwide pandemics or something like that. So what would happen in the absence of, the state? Well, I don't know. I think that's one of the questions is that presumably everything has its advantages, right? The state must have some advantages to have made it this long. It can't be a completely awful organizational model. So if that's the case, then, let's point it out when something that it might excel at, and not to say excel over nothing. It can always be better because it's people. But it might excel in this particular area in helping to prevent global pandemics, just sort of a lockdown of travel or something like that, because these things are spread person to person, right?
So let's unpack this further. So you're saying the state, by controlling the borders and banning airlines and people from traveling freely, can prevent the spread of a pandemic?
They could certainly slow it down, right? I mean, I don't know.
So China, who quarantined an entire city of almost 10 million, were they able to slow it down?
We don't know. We don't have sort of a double-blind study here where 10 million city with the same disease and another one without sort of made things happen. Probably not. I mean, but maybe they slowed it down a little bit. Maybe slowing it down is all you need to do to get your handle on it. Supposedly, people are talking about vaccines for this thing at this point.
And was the cost of shutting down public transportation, airlines, rails, and even highways in a city of nearly 10 million worth the cost? Who gets to make that decision?
That is the tough question, right? So I don't know how many hundreds of millions of dollars in sort of world GDP is affected here, but I would say that there's a great deal of effect. And what would happen in the absence and these sorts of things? I don't know. I mean, it's very difficult to look at. Like, for instance, in Saipan, there's been conversation. They've shut down some flights in and out, and I think one's directly and indirectly originating in China. And that means that we're losing that tourist revenue. But some people have canceled their flights in anyway, even though we did it. So there's some Korean flights that have been canceled. But if there was a case of the coronavirus here on Saipan, that'd be big news in Asia, because this is quite a tourist hotspot for Asians, right?
Yeah. So I think you can look at this individual case and the general case, right?
Okay.
So we can speak hypothetically in a general case. Let's say there's something Ebola that's actually you're bleeding from your eyeballs. Like that scares me. Corona, getting the flu, I'm not as concerned by that. That being said, I am
You're
young
not in the demographic
and not
that's
vulnerable.
likely to die
Yeah.
from the flu virus. You're a strapping young male of 25, and you should be okay.
Yeah.
But and likely the people that are dying from the coronavirus, just guessing here, I don't have the stats sitting in front of me, but likely they're old, infirm,
Or very young. Yeah. So yeah, just assuming that it was an extremely bad, say it's like a bioweapon that was engineered, right?
Okay.
In the case of a bioweapon, would it make sense to shut down the borders, completely shut down a city? I think there's a couple ways we could look at it. One, would it work? I think is probably the most important. When you're talking about bioweapon level events, that's the most important question, is what policy would work?
Right, and so some people, maybe it would be better. Maybe the scientists would determine it would be better if everybody stayed in their home. However, there's going to be some people who are like, I'm not staying in, whatever the city is that is in question here, Metropolis. I'm getting out to the country. I'm going to Alaska, where nobody is. And they'd try to sneak out, right?
And that could be the unintended consequence that makes things even worse, right? You tell people we're instituting a ban at midnight, and all of a sudden everyone's leaving as fast as they can, and maybe it goes even worse than it would have been originally.
Right, and then that could very well be the case. I know that in Florida we used to have hurricane lockdowns, and then people would be evacuated from the coastal islands and told you got to get off, and some people just wouldn't go. They'd be like, nope, I'm staying with my house. And half the time in my lifetime, those people were proven right, at the very least, because the hurricane didn't hit there.
Well, yeah, that's one question, but we're assuming it's like, bioweapon, this is a real thing. The better question I would argue is that what do you do with the people who don't comply? If some, person just says, I'm going out for my daily walk. Every morning I do Tai Chi in the park, and, that's how I stay healthy.
I don't know what, it depends on how tyrannical your government is, really, is the answer. Because do the cops want to come in contact with this person? Likely not. So when I'm in New Hampshire, the standing recommendation is don't go out when it's snowing, you dummy. Right? Don't get in your car and drive down the state highways. We're trying to get them clear so that, everybody can, and we want to leave it for emergency vehicles, for tow trucks, for people who are on the radio and must go to work, things like this. I mean, there's actual exemptions in the policy for people who are broadcasters trying to get to work. And that would be really nice if all the riffraff would stay off the road, but they don't. Yeah, they feel like they've got things to do too, especially the ones that think it's a good idea to have a couple of beers and then get out there onto the snow. But that's what we have ditches for.
Yeah.
And then you just got to swerve around the emergency vehicles that are dealing with it. So yeah, people don't comply. We're not that species.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we'd be a lot nicer to deal with if we were ants, but we're not. We don't comply. And I don't have any good answers for, and I imagine the government doesn't have any of them either, for how to stop global pandemics. So, this is just one of those things I just sit by and watch and keep my hands washed. I think that's pretty much the best thing you can do. I didn't even stop my going to work out at Gold's. I mean, people are sweating there.
Yeah.
They're producing extra volumes of secretions and presumably leaving them on equipment. Now, I'm cleaning the equipment before and after I use it every time, but,
Well, we don't have any cases here, so it's perhaps if there were a bunch of cases, your behavior would change.
No, my behavior has changed. I'm washing the equipment. Oh, you mean not going to Gold's at all?
Yeah. You're one of those who do Tai Chi in the park, no matter what they said about not going outside.
It's just not likely to happen, whatever it is what I'm saying. Well, anyway, your thoughts. The number, 855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE, as in Free Talk Live, or you can use the Discord lines at discord.freetalklive.com.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you get the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. anypayinc.com.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at marketfreetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. Marketfreetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, marketfreetalklive.com.
Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what the readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. freedomsphoenix.com, constantly providing the information, the real news about government policies, and the real relationship we all have with the coercive government. The real condition of the economy, innovations in technology, breakthroughs in energy, health, and computer science. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media. The corporate media, nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but now there's an alternative. freedomsphoenix.com. Constant news updates on the issues that affect your life in the most important ways. With liberty and property under constant attack, freedomsphoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda, and it encourages the participation of its readers. Go to freedomsphoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, phoenix.com. freedomsphoenix.com. The revolution between the ears has already happened.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit shiresociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at shiresociety.com. That's shiresociety.com.
Live video of our key New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever's on your mind. It's Mark with you.
And Alex.
The number's 855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE, as in freedom. And I want to tell you real quick about Bitcoin. So we were talking about viruses spreading from country to country. Bitcoin.com advocates for global currency, Bitcoin Cash, that is able to, for instance, I went down to Belize and got a hotel room at one point with cryptocurrency. Now, I never had to exchange it at any location, nothing like that. I just took my crypto wallet and spent it right there on site. I've gone to countries around the world. I've used it. I never have to change it out. It is a global currency, global peer-to-peer currency that allows you to, well, frankly, avoid the problems of state currencies. People never look at it, but when tourists come and they have to switch to the local currency, they lose money. The state gains money. And it's it's a problem. And governments control banks. They decide the banks, whether you're able to bank and how you're able to bank. And, if you're selling pot or you're a stripper or, things like that in the United States, it can be very difficult to bank. We've reported that on that here in Free Talk Live. So, maybe you're none of those things. But you never know when they're coming for you. So check out Bitcoin.com for the latest news at news.bitcoin.com and those sorts of things. Go ahead, Alex.
An even better reason to use Bitcoin in light of the pandemic sweeping the world is that you don't have to touch anyone's hands. You don't have to touch any dirty money, right?
It's true. Dirty money. I wonder how many of the cases have been have been spread through
here's
dirty money.
A new theory.
Okay.
The source of corona was from contaminated money. They said it came from a food market, right?
It's true. Was
it the food or the money that caused it to spread?
Right. Who knows?
Someone dropped one of those R&B notes into a contaminated bucket of bat feces, and all of a sudden, poof, it's everywhere.
Zoonotic.
Yeah.
It's gone zoonotic. Wu-Tang.
It's like, where's George, right? You see how far those dollars can spread around the world. Think of any money-borne disease.
Right, if you could find one of those Where's George dollars and besides just see where it's gone, just how many hands it's touched.
Yeah. Anyone who's concerned about their health, don't just buy your face mask. Get some Bitcoin as well from Bitcoin.com.
Yeah, you can get Bitcoin Cash over there. They advocate for Bitcoin Cash. There's a distinction, right? So Bitcoin has basically become a store of value, a digital asset, whereas Bitcoin Cash is designed to be a global currency. So, the difference between, say, a gold bar and a silver quarter. But, as the case may be.
And just like silver, it's very hygienic.
That's even more so. Yeah, I wonder if silver coins are more hygienic than other forms of currency.
They have some antibacterial properties.
Right. Silver does have antibacterial properties. As far as the SARS thing, the coronavirus, pardon me, wrong decade, thing goes here, I think it's worth mentioning again and again and again is 8,000 people have died this year in the United States from the flu. That's not how many cases of the flu there's been. There's been, probably hundreds of thousands. I don't have those stats. But the flu is far more deadly than this coronavirus, the Kung Fu flu, as they're calling it.
So you're saying in a country of 330 million people, 8,000 people were killed and no one's freaking out, but in a country of 1.4 billion, 100 or so people were killed and the whole world is on fire?
Right now, there's a fat woman in Topeka, Kansas, eating a candy bar with diabetes, worried about the coronavirus. Now, if that is an irony, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, diabetes, I got a little advice for you if you want to avoid dying from disease. Lay off the sugar, stop smoking. Don't vaporize either, but, hey, I think vaporizing's better than smoking. So, that's my opinion on that. Stay out of automobiles. My God, those things are deadly. You probably should just put alcohol away. No particular reason for that stuff. I would suspect even smoking marijuana. I mean, really, is it good for you to inhale combusted plant material into your lungs? Doesn't seem like it. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do to make yourself live longer. Getting there, watching CNN and getting all whipped up about who's getting impeached and whether or not there's some kind of global pandemic coming on. That's what they do for a living. They get you whipped up.
Yeah, we should don't watch fake news. That's the lesson of this incident, I would think.
Well, I'm not trying to just target CNN, but I think CNN's gone a little more left since Trump got in office. I think they got miffed about the whole getting kicked out of the White House thing.
Yeah,
but that's kind of my particular opinion on it. And another nice thing, another advantage to living here on Saipan in the U.S. Mariana Islands is I don't have to care about you people's impeachment process. I don't care.
Yeah, what's that thing they're always saying? Not my president?
Fine, if it's not your president, why are you worried about the impeachment process?
Yeah.
It's an impeachment of somebody who's not your president.
Well, here it's more not your president than anywhere else, I would argue.
In the United States.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, there's probably some effect to the U.S. presidential election here in Saipan, but not much of one. Admittedly, most people who are watching Fox News or MSNBC or CNN and worried about this stuff right now, the president isn't any effect on their life either. It's just something they're upset about. This Trump derangement syndrome, which presumably there is a corollary on the other side. I don't know that we have a term for it, but this whole thing, this guy's got everybody whipped up. That's what he does. He's a performer, and to get people passionate, that's his whole goal.
Yeah, I mean, Twitter was made for President Trump.
So what I would recommend is don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. There was a knockdown drag out at my family's house over the holiday because my in-laws are good Democrats. Everybody's got to be something, right? They're either Democrats or Republicans. And the mother-in-law, she's like, nobody would even go to the White House to accept an award these days. I'm like, are you kidding? Most people would go to get an award. Yeah. I mean, he's still president, and that was just the end of it. I made what I thought to be a relatively obvious and innocuous statement, and it was on it was on, and I'm like, well, maybe you don't understand because you're not working. Are you calling my wife old? Oh, God.
Yeah, some people are still bitter about 2016.
They are. And look, I mean, I get it. I understand. I don't like any of the presidents, but I guess, I'm probably considered on the Trump train because I would prefer Trump over Clinton. That's my opinion. I think she cheated. I think she threw the election. I'm kind of the opinion, though, that if you ask me to make an opinion on what comes up in the next election, I might be looking for a Democrat. And the reason is because Trump has shown himself to be a little fast and loose with the rules. Will now be faster and looser because he can't win another election.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, that's just one of the thoughts that I've had percolate through my brain. But mostly, I don't care. I don't care who gets elected president. Leave that to the national talkers that have you all whipped up about something you can't control. If you care and you think you can make some kind of case to change my mind, the number is 855-450-3733. It's 855-450 free as in Free Talk Live, or you can use the Discord lines. All you got to do is go to discord.freetalklive.com, and there's a sign-up process. You got to sign in. You make a sign-up, then sign in. But once you do, you can call in and sound so much better. You sound like you're in the studio with us. It's Free Talk Live, 855-450 free.
Do the letters IRS give you anxiety? I'm Dan Pilla. I've defended people from the IRS for more than 40 years. My book, How to Get Tax Amnesty, created the tax resolution industry and is responsible for helping hundreds of thousands of people. It can help you too. If you're a non-filer or facing IRS enforcement right now, your case is unique. You need real help, not cookie-cutter advice. My clients get my personal attention. Buy my book at danpilla.com and get a free consultation directly with me. That's danpilla.com. Let's start solving your tax problem right now.
Join me, George Norrie, in Indian Wells, California for the 8th Annual Contact in the Desert UFO Conference, May 29th to June 1st. Contact in the Desert is an epic weekend of adventure filled with exciting explorations into UFOs, ancient alien civilizations, crop circles, forbidden archaeology, disclosure, leading-edge science, and the newest evidence of ongoing contact, sightings, and leading-edge science. This amazing weekend offers lectures and workshops, exciting panels, and a luncheon that I'm hosting. Contact in the Desert also features leading experts including Linda Moulton Howe, Paul Hellyer, Stephen Greer, Emery Smith, Russell Targ, Doc Wallach, Leslie Kane, and many important researchers and scientists from all over the world. With the breaking articles in the New York Times and acknowledged naval sightings, Contact in the Desert is your place for inside information. Join us at contactinthedesert.com to get your tickets today. It's time to make contact. That's contactinthedesert.com. Contactinthedesert.com.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Free Talk Live. Call in. Talk about whatever's on your mind. That's what we do here on Free Talk Live. It's Mark with you.
And Alex.
We're coming to you live from the U.S. Mariana Islands. And I think people are surprised when they find out just how quickly our voices can travel around the globe. And by around the globe, what I mean is that it is rarely light here and light in Washington, D.C. at the same time.
Wow.
That's just what the definition of around the globe is, right? So it's almost always dark here if it's light there, and almost always light here if it's dark there. So there you go. The number, 855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE. We talked about Bitcoin in a previous segment there, and I wanted to tell you how I keep my cryptocurrencies in what wallet I keep it in. I keep it in the Edge wallet, and the reason is because it's just so easy to use. The Edge wallet, for one, they never control your currency, you do. You can set it up so that you can recover it and that sort of thing. But you can also set it up so it's so ultra private, you can't recover if there's some kind of mistake. I don't recommend that. I personally recommend putting up the recovery stuff in place. But nonetheless, what they want to do is they want to prove that it is possible for you to completely control your funds. So they never control your funds with the Edge wallet at edge.app. And you can keep just about every type of cryptocurrency there. You don't have to write down 24 mnemonic words in order to recover your wallet. If your phone drops in the toilet and just doesn't work anymore, you can go get a new phone, download the Edge wallet at edge.app, and put your username and password in, and your funds come up in seconds. So edge.app, it's not just named after me. It's the best product on the market as far as I'm concerned. Edge.app. Let's go to the phones. We've got Mark calling in from Bedford, New Hampshire. Mark, you're on Free Talk Live.
I'm listening in 4 years. And you had me with a lot of intelligent, reasoned talk, and then comes out of one of your mouths, Hillary Clinton threw the election. So can someone fill me in more about the reasons you conjure this up?
Sure. Now, I'm not going to say that if I said she threw the election, allow me to retract slightly. She stacked the deck at the Democratic National through the Democratic National Committee. She gets Debbie Wasserman Schultz in there. Kane, who was the former president, suddenly he's going to be the leader of the DNC. He's suddenly going to be offered the VP slot. More or less, the super delegates are all on board with Clinton, and Bernie's running this outside campaign. So go ahead. That's what I mean.
Okay, that's differs from my take on what throwing an election is.
Okay.
So
I'm
you're not
sorry
saying
that I left you.
She intentionally let Trump win at the end.
No, I would not say that she. No, I would not say that. I think she is very upset that she lost, and I'm sorry that I left you thinking that. And thank you for the call too. Yeah, I'd say that she wanted to win very much, and she failed to stack up enough electoral votes. I'm sure it is painful for people that California had so many votes for Clinton, but it didn't matter. And that ultimately Trump was elected through electoral votes, but not a majority of the popular vote.
She was perhaps the worst candidate in our lifetime. She was certainly the most compromised. And I think it speaks volumes that, and this is a good thing, that people saw through that for a kind of odious guy who was at least more sincere.
Yeah, I don't even know how to. Trump is such an enigma. I can't come up with a small phrase to describe him. But one thing that Alex was pointing out in the break, and I think this is very important. Alex, why don't you just mention the courts and stuff? Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you can talk about whether a president is good or bad, what actions they did, what they didn't do, but perhaps the most important thing a president can do is appoint justices, because that's their legacy. It will last far more than their 4 to 8 years. So I think the best takeaway from President Trump is he put in a lot of good constitutional justices, whereas given Hillary's relationship with the law and how she feels she's above it, I'd be very concerned to see what kind of justices she'd put in place.
Yeah, she just used a Secret Service personnel to drive away a process server on this Tulsi Gabbard case. I mean, Clearly, she thinks she's above the law. She can have your tax-paid servants, shoo away the riffraff.
Now, Alex, do you think that Hillary was... Oh, I lost my train of thought. I apologize. I had a different.
No problem.
thought,
Call
though,
back some other night. We really love having you back, Mark. Thanks for
All right.
listening.
Well, nice to be on with you. My one other thought was literally 4 years ago, the second most popular candidate for almost the same reason, outsider with screw the establishment sentiments, was actually voters who liked Bernie Sanders. When you were in New Hampshire, I was at the time, the 1-2, people who could vote in either primary, as New Hampshire allows it, people who had Trump number 1 often put Bernie as their number 2 and vice versa.
Yeah. I think that if Bernie had taken the DNC nomination in 2016, he would have been the president. That's my opinion. I don't know what that means in this next election in 2020. I'm still trying to figure that out. But I do have like a sort of hopeful prediction. I'm not claiming this is my prediction. But my hopeful prediction is that Bernie gets the nod in this go-around and that he takes Tulsi Gabbard as his VP. Remember, Bernie's...
Didn't we just talk about judges?
Yeah, I hear you. I'm just saying...
We just talked about judges. What kind of judges is Bernie going to put in?
Look, I think that Bernie could beat Trump, and that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree, and that's why I'm worried.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
I'm worried about those judges. There's a lot of empty seats that need to be filled.
I'm just sticking my finger in the wind here. That's all I'm saying.
Do we want someone who honeymooned in communist Russia to be putting in judges, or do we want Donald Trump to put in judges? And by Donald Trump, I mean the Federalist Society.
I want to hear from Mark.
Do you think if Bernie, after he was eliminated from the Democrat race, if he had taken the Green Party nomination, would he have been president?
I can't answer that. I mean, it's just...
I can answer this. Hillary would have come in third.
Thanks for the call. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. I must say, as a talk show host, that's how I like to end my calls. I like a quip, and then they're gone.
Yeah, a 1-2.
Yeah, it's really awesome. So I did mention that apparently Hillary Clinton thinks that she's above the law here. This is from National Review. I get it. It's not unbiased, but it was the story that I liked the best. Hillary Clinton has twice refused to see a process server, not once, twice, attempting to convey Representative Tulsi Gabbard's defamation lawsuit against her. Gabbard's lawyer told the New York Post on Wednesday, "I find it rather unbelievable that Hillary Clinton is so intimidated by Tulsi Gabbard that she won't accept service of process," said Brian Dunn. But I guess here we are. According to Dunn, the server first visited Clinton's home in Westchester, New York to deliver a lawsuit and was refused entry by Secret Service agents. Can somebody tell me why Hillary Clinton has Secret Service agents?
Yeah, she's not a former president. I thought they gave those to former presidents. Is she,
and their family, but that was for 10 years. So that should have ended in the year 2000, right? So it should have ended in 2010. Is it because she ran the last presidential race and lost?
I think it's because so many people dislike her. If I had to guess, they made an exception.
Is it because people think she might run in 2020 still? They still believe it? I mean, the Iowa caucus is Tuesday, I think.
Yeah.
And people still think that Clinton's going to jump in? I mean, that would be a heck of a splash to come in over the weekend and be like, yeah, I know you guys had all your thoughts about who you're going to vote for at the caucus, but instead, vote for me. Yeah. I just don't believe it. At this point, there's so many pundits out there that have made their careers on Clinton's coming back in. Watch out. And no, she's not.
She could be a vice presidential candidate. You never know.
Sure. She could be the first female vice. 855-450-3733. What are your thoughts? Is Hillary Clinton coming back? 855-450-FREE is in Free Talk Live. I can definitely say that I have found the best cryptocurrency wallet. Certainly the best named one. I'm Mark Edge, and I love the Edge wallet. I've been using it for the last few months. You can buy, sell, trade, and hold your cryptocurrency securely. I trust my holdings of all the major cryptocurrencies to Edge wallet, and you should too. No long phrases to memorize, just a username and password. Secure your freedom with Edge wallet. Get it now on Apple or Android in the App Store or at edge.app.
Have you ever wanted to work when you wanted to work instead of having to report to an office? Have you ever felt trapped by relationship rules like monogamy? I'm Caleb Jones, and I have taught hundreds of thousands of men how to create low-work, high-income businesses and how to date women under your terms. Watch our free, live, on-demand replay training with me so you can learn how to create location-independent income and date women the way you want. Go to alpha.freetalklive.com.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,574, silver at $17.84, and Bitcoin is trading around $9,538. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, President Donald Trump's Commerce Secretary, Wilbur Ross, on Thursday, suggested the deadly coronavirus that has sparked fears of a global pandemic could have a bright side, at least for the United States. More jobs.
So I think it will help to accelerate the return of jobs to North America, some to U.S., probably some to Mexico as well.
The coronavirus has killed at least 170 people in China and has infected nearly 8,000 more as the Chinese government and other nations have worked to contain the outbreak with travel bans and restrictions. Ross's rosy assessment of potential U.S. economic gains from the virus was immediately denounced as grossly callous. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. Recent reports indicate that data gathered by automakers and tech companies could be the next front in the battle over digital privacy. Activist Post reports that in early January, companies at the CES 2020 displayed their plans for making use of the surprising amounts of data gathered by newer model vehicles. Amazon, Intel, Qualcomm, and BlackBerry were among the companies seeking partnerships with automakers who are also searching for methods to monetize the data gathered by their vehicles. Bloomberg reports that modern cars roll out of factories packed with cellular connections, powerful processors, and a growing suite of sensors, including cameras, radar, and microphones. That's turning them into the next information goldmine, rivaling the data-creating capabilities of smartphones. Bloomberg also notes that Intel announced a new stage of its Mobileye technology, which allows for driver assistance and Intel to gather data from cameras, chips, and sensors within the vehicle. Manhattan-based Clearview AI is collecting data from unsuspecting social media users, and the Chicago Police Department is using the controversial facial recognition tool to pinpoint the identity of unknown suspects. That's according to a report from the Chicago Times. And according to a bombshell New York Times report, it's also being used by the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security. Activist Post reports the software's creator maintains that it's purely an after-the-fact research tool for law enforcement, not a surveillance system or a consumer application. However, privacy advocates are saying the technology is so intrusive and ripe for abuse, its use should be immediately halted. And earlier this month, a lawsuit was filed in federal court seeking to do just that. Chicago attorney Scott Drury, who filed the lawsuit, describes CPD's signing of a 2-year, $49,875 contract with Illinois tech firm CDW Government to use Clearview AI software as frightening. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
From 1941, when an amoeba became the first single-celled organism to play professional baseball, to 1794, when Thomas Jefferson more than likely did something historically significant. The Onion looks back at This Week in History. On May 25, 1925, Tennessee teacher John T. Scopes was formally indicted for teaching the theory of evolution in a public school after a monkey called to the stand failed to turn into a human.
Sir, you have been on the witness stand for a full 3 hours now, and in this time we haven't seen you lose any of your hair or shed your tail. Can you at least articulate a single justifiable reason why Mr. Darwin's theory should even be mentioned in our nation's classrooms?
And on May 27, 1995, actor Christopher Reeve came in last place in a horseback riding event.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live. Free Talk Live coming to you live from the U.S. Mariana Islands. It's Mark with you.
And Alex.
And you can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind here on this live episode of Free Talk Live. And I should point out that we are live. If you're listening basically any day of the year at 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, you can call in. Sometimes we're on remote broadcast and we're producing a new, fresh show for the air, but we're not live. So you really can't call in those nights. But we'll tell you when you can't. But by and large, it's pretty much any night of the week, from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time is a lot different over here in the U.S. Mariana Islands. So, for instance, we're doing the show, Alex, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Yeah, I'm in my pajamas still.
You do look a little rumpled. And we're looking out. It's a little hazy out there, but it is a beautiful scene of sort of jungles and mountains, looking up up the hill in Saipan. I don't have the most expensive view. I refuse to pay for those sorts of things. Anyway, let's go off to the phones. We've got Gene, the Christian anarchist, calling in on our amplifier-only Discord lines, and you can amp the show at amp.freetalklive.com. Gene?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that virus.
Yeah,
and
the Kung Fu
I have
flu.
some ideas.
Yeah.
What was that?
The Kung Fu flu. Tell me about it.
Yeah. First of all, I'm not sure. It looks like it's pretty deadly, like a 25% death rate. But that's primarily, as in most cases with these things, it's primarily the people that are old and weak that die. I mean, it's a sad fact of life that the more healthier you are when you get something like this, the more likely your chances of surviving it.
Is that 25% death rate for old people or young specifically? Because what I've read was 3%.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of reading between the lines, between the numbers that are given and so on. It's supposed to have a little bit higher death rate than SARS, and SARS was up there pretty high. So I'm just guessing. So let's just, for the sake of argument, say we've got a disease that will possibly kill 1 out of 4 people. So the thing is, how easy is it to catch this disease? And it doesn't seem to be that easy to catch to me. I know there was just recently a case of an airplane that flew to Australia, and one of the people became sick with this disease while on the flight. So they're already at their highest contagion stage.
Right. So
and
usually,
they're on an airplane
Gene, let
full of
me get some
people.
clarification on this. It's my understanding that by the time you're coughing and sniffling with pretty much any flu, you've already been able to transmit it for quite some time, right?
Correct, but you are still contagious at that point.
Right.
And so you've got a very contagious person in a little aluminum tube, jam-packed with 200 or so people. And so what would be interesting to see is they're trying to trace down everybody who was on that flight.
Right.
It would be interesting to see how many people actually catch the disease, and then you're going to have a better idea of exactly how contagious this is. I suspect that you know, let's say 10 or 15 people wind up catching that disease. I think that's pretty. I think that would be pretty good. I mean, if only 10 or 15 people caught the disease. Now, we won't know yet, but I'm sure there are going to be more stories on this. I think that if you take general precautions, don't spend a lot of time in big crowds, and, if you wear a mask, and especially if you cover your eyes with something, because apparently if somebody coughs and the water droplets get into your eyes, that's another route of transmission. So I don't think that this is going to be the big plague that everybody claims it is. It's certainly not going to, wipe out a quarter of the population of the planet or anything like that. So there's definitely going to be people getting sick and people dying. I don't want to downplay this thing, but I don't think that it's as bad as what people are making it out to be.
What precautions are you guys taking at your medical clinic, Gene?
We actually aren't taking any special precautions because nobody has come down with this disease, within 1,000 miles of our place. So we're not. The only special condition is if somebody were to come into the office and say they just came from China. Now that we would ask them to wear a mask, and our front desk has been versed on how to handle situations like that. But for the most part, we're not making any major differences in the way that we normally do things.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you guys aren't too concerned with it. And
as a side note, it's funny that this year with the flu shot, they wound up missing the target 100%. So people that got the flu shot still got the flu because they chose exactly the wrong strains to put in the flu shot. So if you got a flu shot last year or this recent season, it was a waste of time because it wasn't even the right antibodies.
Yeah, I think that that's one of the real problems with the flu vaccine is that they have to come up with which particular strains of the flu they're going to vaccinate for something like 18 months in advance. And that makes their hit rate kind of low as far as getting the vaccine. They'll tell you over and over to get this vaccine. Now, for me, the 2 times I've got it, I've had 100% reaction to it. And the reaction is, well, something like the flu. I'm not saying I get the flu from the flu vaccine, but I'm having a reaction to the flu vaccine that seems flu-like. And
yeah.
Some people,
Myself,
a lot of people don't have
I've
that problem.
never had a flu shot.
Never had one? Yeah, and I'm not saying you shouldn't get a flu shot.
Never had one.
I hope everybody gets a flu shot, but don't expect it to actually stop the flu. And if you have a reaction to it, don't let these people bully you into it either.
Yeah, I think it definitely should be everybody's choice. The people talk about my body, my choice, but then they allow you to be told what to do by the government as far as vaccines and different things that they're sticking in you. And I don't think that's definitely not freedom of choice.
Most of the vaccine conversation comes around public schools. So the government, it's like a license, right? The government steals your right from you, in this case your money, and then sells it back to you, in this case in the form of schooling. So they then withhold it because you're not following their little rules. So really the problem is...
should not be.
Right.
Should not be public schools, just like there shouldn't be public anything else. Everybody should be earning their own way, and if somebody can't earn their own way, then they should rely on charity. And charity, I would think, would be a lot more prominent than today if the government wasn't stealing half of everybody's income.
I agree with your stance, but I would go so far as to say that the fact that they do government schools the way they do them show that they're indoctrination camps and not intended to educate. If you wanted to make sure that poor people got an education, which is what the liberals are screaming at their radios right now, if you want to make sure that poor people get an education, then what you would do is you would give a voucher of some sort to people who are in the lowest quintile, and maybe half voucher for people in the second to lowest quintile. And you would then let people choose the schools that they wanted to choose. But no, what we want is we want a school where we decide what the kids get taught through the form of this Board of Education thing, and we're going to create this sort of liberal hierarchy that starts with kindergarten, goes all the way through graduate school, and we're going to give the smartest people who really can't hold down a money-making job, we're going to give them professorships and teaching jobs, and they're going to, of course, they're within a socialist system, socialized education, and so obviously they're going to lean more towards socialism. So it sounds like a trick to me. Gene, thank you for the call. The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app, and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org. Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at mark@freetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. mark@freetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, mark@freetalklive.com.
I want to tell you about my favorite cryptocurrency wallet, Edge Wallet, at edge.app. Edge is the wallet I use more than any other, and that was true long before Edge Wallet became a sponsor of Free Talk Live. Edge Wallet allows you to buy, sell, trade, and securely hold your cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and more. It's available for both Android and iOS, and you can download it via the Play or App Store or via Edge Wallet's website, edge.app. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet.
The easiest thing in the world for a reader to do is to stop reading, according to the late, great Barney Kilgore, who became managing editor of the Wall Street Journal in 1941 and grew the paper's circulation from 33,000 to 1 million by the 60s. And he'd be pleased to know that his paper is one of the few that people now pay to read online. Someone else pre-internet who realized that attention is fragile? Motown Records founder Berry Gordy. In the early 60s, when his label dominated the charts, he'd bring a dozen real people into the Hitsville, USA studios and audition songs. And he'd ask, if you were down to your last dollar, would you spend it on this record or would you buy a sandwich? Today, attention span seems like an oxymoron. For tips on cutting through the clutter, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever is on your mind. It is Mark with you.
And Alex.
The number 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. Come check us out at LibertyCon. It's a convention coming up from April the 3rd through the 5th. And This is going to be a big event. It's going to be a really great event. I'm looking forward to it. Ian and I are going to be down there at LibertyCon, providing that airline flights can get me there in time. But, yeah, come on down. Check them out. It's libertycon.com. Use coupon code FTL, and you can save $10 off your ticket. The tickets are cheap. And hotel rooms are plentiful in Washington, D.C. I think this is this might be the best convention for your money out there. I haven't been to it, so I can't I can't compare it to anything else I've been to or anything like that, but it's going to be a great time, I'm certain. LibertyCon.com, and let's go to the phones. We've got Eddie calling in from Chicago. Eddie, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, hi, is this Mark?
This is Mark.
Hey, Mark. Hey, listen. First of all, I'm glad. I'm finally happy that I was able to get through because I've been trying, like for the past 2 weeks, I've been trying to get through, and
How hard is it?
Huh?
I mean, it's not that hard to get through.
Well, no, I've been trying to call like at night and stuff like that. You know, when I get a chance, and you know, for some reason I can't get through, but I finally got through, so I'm kind of happy about that. Listen, I was wondering if listen, I know you guys always talk about that cryptocurrency. Bitcoin and stuff like that.
Yep.
But
we were the first show in the world to talk about Bitcoin. Yeah, in 2010.
Okay, so I was wondering if it's okay with you guys if you could break it down for me and tell me how that really works with the currency, because you know I've been using cash all my life, so I mean, how does the whole process with the cryptocurrency works? I mean, can I go into any stores and buy it, and where do I get it? You know, how do I do that? Because you know, I was just curious about that.
I think that's big. That cryptocurrency's biggest challenge right now is acceptance. So most places you're going to walk into, you are not going to be able to spend cryptocurrency. Whenever I go, I always ask, "Can I spend Bitcoin Cash here?" And usually they don't know what I'm talking about. But regardless, what you can do is that you can go to Save at Purse. That's saveatpurse.com, and you can buy anything that you normally buy on Amazon through there with a discount of somewhere between 20 and 30%. And that's a pretty motivating thing. So you can get just about anything you want to get, and you can get it cheaper with Bitcoin Cash at saveatpurse.com. I believe you can use Bitcoin Cash, and I think there might be a third option. And I think that's the single biggest use case for cryptocurrency out there. And that's a pretty good, it's a pretty good thing. And so that's number one.
That's pretty nice. So you're saying that I can actually go to Amazon and just like the site on the internet, and I can just get anything with
go to saveatpurse.com. Go to saveatpurse.com, and they've got a little introductory video there that'll explain the whole thing in like a minute and a half, and they'll do it a heck of a lot better than I will. But they make it very easy. And hopefully, through shows like Free Talk Live, we'll increase acceptance for cryptocurrency around the world, and maybe around the U.S. Mariana Islands, where we've already got quite a few lined up here. And I do appreciate the call. Thank you, Eddie. The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. And we do have some businesses that we're lining up here on the U.S. Mariana Islands, Alex, to accept cryptocurrency.
Yeah, if you go to cryptofrontier.org and sign up for the email list, we'll be shooting out our first press release this weekend.
Oh, and I paid for my rent in Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah.
You were there. Use my Edge wallet.
Yep.
Edge.app. So, it can be done, and we're trying to make some efforts in that direction here. And soon, we will have another Free Talk Live host to help with acceptance here on the island. The number, 855-450-3733. So, Hillary Clinton has refused the service of a process, as they call process server, which is like a subpoena in the Tulsi Gabbard case for defamation. And not once, but twice. And she's used a Secret Service agent to do it. Did you find out why Hillary Clinton has a Secret Service agent now? Because I can't figure that out.
I couldn't find it out, but when I Google Hillary Clinton and Secret Service agent, it's all a lot of bad publicity.
Yeah, the Secret Service agents, from what I can tell, hate.
So rude, so mean.
Right. I wonder how they like Trump. I mean, is he nice to them?
I also saw an article mentioning they love Trump. Huh. Something about his luxury travel accommodations really do it for them.
I'll bet. Yeah. Who wouldn't like that? So Clinton had suggested in October podcast that Gabbard was being groomed by Russia to run for president, and further termed the congresswoman the favorite of the Russians. In response, Gabbard sued Clinton for defamation on January the 22nd. If Hillary Clinton and her allies can successfully destroy my reputation, even though I'm a war veteran and a sitting member of Congress, then they can do it to anybody, Gabbard wrote in a statement announcing the lawsuit, and I will not allow this blatant effort to intimidate me and other patriotic Americans Americans into silence to go unchallenged. Gabbard is in the midst of a long-shot presidential bid. She's doing pretty good in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And she's currently polling at least 1% nationally, according to the Real Clear Politics average. In October, Gabbard said she would not run for re-election to Congress and was fully committed to her presidential bid. And I have gone to see Tulsi in New Hampshire doing her little shtick. And while I do not like the options that are out there for president, I do like her quite a bit. The number here, 855-450-3733. You'd said, Alex, that the numbers that we had talked about, as Gene had talked about, is 25% on the coronavirus. That you couldn't find evidence for supporting that. Did you look that up?
Yeah, it seemed it was closer to 3%, the death rate, maybe even between 2 and 3, in fact. So no need to worry. 25% is very high, and coronavirus is nowhere near there.
Yeah, and who's to say that China might be underreporting, overreporting? We don't know the answers to that, but all we can do is go with the stats that we have.
Yeah,
and so even so, the likelihood of you catching it at this point is pretty slim, from what we can tell here on Free Talk Live. The number 855-450-3733, or use the Discord lines. That's at discord.freetalklive.com. And you go there, you sign up, and then you can call in, and you'll sound like you're right there in the studio. You heard not too long ago, Gene the Christian Anarchist called in, and he sounds great here on Free Talk Live. 855-450-3733. Coming up, going to talk about Elizabeth Warren and her plans around guns. Should be lots of fun. Free Talk Live.
And not to mention the shedding, I would vacuum the carpet 3 times a week. Frodo was scratching all night long, bouncing on the side of the bed, keeping me awake the whole entire night from all the scratching and chewing. It kind of makes you neurotic.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy?
Mounds and mounds of fur all over the place.
Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
Dinovite is nutrition. The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa.
Our vitamins and enzymes replace the nutrients cooked out of most commercial dog foods.
He gobbles it up. He's not up all night scratching. His shedding is minimal, and it is such a pleasure to have my calm, relaxed, non-shedding puppy back. And I have to thank Dinovite for that.
Don't let your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy.
Come to Dinovite for help.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000. DINOVITE.com.
Free Talk Live.
Are you saying there's something wrong with a gay couple adopting children?
Absolutely.
What could possibly be wrong about that?
Then the children are going to be raised by queers instead of by,
You are homophobic, aren't you, Tom?
No.
I think so.
But anyway.
What's wrong with them being raised by gay people?
Because gay people are unfit to raise children.
Oh, how dare you?
I object a lot. I had a friend who was adopted by gay parents, and he grew up just fine with completely normal values, and he's a very normal, functioning member of society.
I've met plenty of gay people in my time who I thought would make fantastic parents and would be far better parents than many of the white trash parents that are out there raising kids today. Tom, do you know any gay people?
I try not to, but...
Yeah, well, that figures, and you're about done. Thanks for the call.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
The political world is a maddening cesspool of corruption and lies. Nobody tells the truth. Nobody keeps campaign promises. Nobody obeys the Constitution. Nobody puts the people first. How can we ever escape this web of tyranny? Vote for nobody.
Hi, my name is Nobody. I'm running for governor of New Hampshire because nobody knows how to live your life better than you do, and nobody deserves that kind of power. I want to put you back in control of your money, your lifestyle, your work, your body, and your life. Nobody should rule you but you. New Hampshire convicts many people of so-called crimes that should never have been prosecuted. If elected, I will pardon every victimless crime in New Hampshire history. This includes drug, gambling, prostitution, gun, and driving offenses. Nobody should have a criminal record when they have not harmed anybody.
Wouldn't it be nice to have nobody telling you what to do? Learn more at electnobody.com. electnobody.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Call in. Talk about whatever you want to talk about. It's Mark with you.
And Alex.
Coming from the U.S. Mariana Islands, where it's the morning time here. Still morning for just a few more minutes. It'll be noon very shortly. The number, 855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live. And we're talking about this situation. We were talking about the situation with Hillary Clinton apparently not accepting the service of process from Tulsi Gabbard twice, using U.S. taxpayer money to run interference for her in the form of Secret Service agents, and just sort of a disregard for the American legal system, from what I can tell.
I mean, it was a $50 million lawsuit, so got to give her a little bit of sympathy. I know she's good for it, but
how do you serve the ultra rich in a situation where they have, well, in this case, Secret Service agents?
I guess you don't, right?
Right, you just don't. Like, she's that untouchable, I guess.
But it's not her first time being above the law, as we saw from her many scandals.
Well, we will see how that all turns out. You can call in your thoughts on it. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. But as promised, Elizabeth Warren has some opinions on ending gun violence. So she says something to the effect that, some large amount of, guns are, that's approximately 3,000 Americans die of gun violence this month. 100 people a day, every day. It's long past time for Congress to stand up to the gun lobby and confront this crisis head on. And, she and this other despicable individual, Hank Johnson, have a bill that's going to solve this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the vast majority of gun deaths in the United States are suicide. Suicide. They're suicide. The gun did what it was supposed to do. Now, I'm not saying I'm happy about suicide, but it's not like it's not like it's in the hands of a toddler or something. It's presumably an adult or somebody who's a biological adult making a decision to end their own life using a handgun, and they're successful. To frame this as gun violence is duplicitous, right? What's a federal gun licensing? What is that going to do to prevent people who are suicidal from getting a gun?
Well, I think what you'll just do is switch their method. And instead of a quick, painless death, they might be dragged on through opioids or some other slower killer.
Right. And
how humane.
Universal background checks. Okay. I mean, we know how that is going to go. They've got background checks in places like California and New York City and Chicago and things like that. You can get a gun here. It's not impossible. It's just effectively impossible.
Yep.
So she doesn't want anybody to have guns except for the well-connected political types, the guards of the well-connected political types. Remember, there are people with guns surrounding Elizabeth Warren to protect her, but you can't own one to protect you. Now, I'm sure she lines this up in her mind somehow. I don't understand how, but she needs protection, you don't.
Yeah, what's that expression? When seconds count, police are minutes away?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying the cops won't show up if you call them. Sometimes they won't. There's no guarantee that they will, but I'm sure they'll show up. But then what? No guarantee that things come down your way. But at that point, you could be being judged by 12 rather than or carried by 6. Those are the choices. 7-day waiting period for gun purchases. So this waiting period thing has gone on for some time. I think it's 3 days now. So we're going to bump it to 7. That's going to solve some problems. Raising gun and ammunition purchase age to 21. So that's going to be fun for the young hunters. Stronger ATF gun shop inspections. So we're going to spend a lot of money on government bureaucrats to go to gun shops and look around at things. Now, what exactly that's going to do, I don't know what people think that's going to solve. But nonetheless, that's one of the proposals here. Assault weapons ban. All right, this is a favorite of the right. Alex, what's an assault weapon?
The scary one.
The scary rifles. So they're black.
Yep.
And I think they're defined as having 2 features on them or something. So you could get sort of say a muzzle suppressor, which just, doesn't, keeps the fire. And then nothing. It does nothing to make a gun more or less deadly. And a flashlight.
Well, I think that's the problem you have is that the people who've never touched a gun are writing the gun bills, and they end up just putting themselves in a corner where they incorrectly define things. They accidentally ban police from possessing guns. It's a nightmare.
Right, and that's the other thing is if guns are dangerous, why do they have their cops running around with them?
Oh, that's different. You don't understand.
Well, okay, I don't.
They're trained professionals.
Okay, so what we can see is that concealed carry permit owners on a national basis are 10 times safer than police when it comes to their firearms. That they are 10 times less likely to commit a felony. That these are the safest individuals in America next to people in comas. Cops are 10 times more dangerous than concealed carry permit holders. And cops are 100 times safer than your average citizen. So a concealed carry permit holder is 1,000 times safer than your average citizen, and yet we want to make it harder for people to do that. What would be the point?
Mark, are you trying to use reason and logic?
I like using reason and logic. They're one of my favorite things to use, and I wish people would try more of it. And I'm willing to, to logic shame anybody who doesn't want to spend a little time thinking about things.
Well, I'll use your reason and logic against you.
All right,
I'll be
great.
devil's advocate.
Excellent.
Reason and logic has never worked before.
No, it doesn't work very well with human beings. They're not a
And it's not going to start now.
No. I mean, half the population has an IQ below 100.
Wow.
There you go. But I mean, that's it. 100's the mean, and basically, functionally, there's half the population with and that's in the U.S. There are other countries where the IQ is even lower. Now, I don't know if that has to do with education. It shouldn't be. The IQ exam shouldn't be based on education, but it functionally has to exist to some extent in the realm of education. So I don't know, but people are moved by emotion. You're absolutely right.
And so your argument's got to be more emotional.
Gun bans on all school campuses. Now, wait a minute. Every school shooting that has existed so far in America, as far as I know, maybe somebody can call in at 855-450-3733 and correct me on this, but to the best of my knowledge, every single shooting that has occurred on a school campus where guns were banned. So banning guns has done F all for school shootings.
There you go with the logic again.
I mean, maybe we need to have it 500 feet around a school so that every time a person with a gun drives past a school, they have to unload it, unload it, drive through the school zone, reload it after they get through. It'll be great.
Yeah, I'm sure the school shooters will definitely comply.
Yeah, school shooters are definitely going to comply when it comes to this because they follow all the rules. And I think that's something that's worth pointing out here is that it's not that hard to get a gun.
Yeah, I mean, thanks to Cody Wilson, you can even print one out on a CNC mill.
Right. At this point, you can make your own gun. But, I mean, your average crook can go get a gun. Crooks are committing crimes all the time with guns. So guns laws aren't preventing crooks from getting guns. Why do these politicians think their gun laws are finally going to fix stuff? What do you think? 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in Free Talk Live.
This is George Norrie from Coast to Coast AM and History Channel's Ancient Aliens, and we're proud to promote amazing energy, nutrition, and skincare products from Jeunesse. Visit gcnlife.com for products like Luminesse. The Luminesse anti-aging skincare line restores youthful vitality and radiance to your skin, reducing the appearances of fine lines and wrinkles with stem cell technology. There's also Instantly Ageless, which works within 2 minutes, reducing under-eye bags, fine lines, wrinkles, and pores. Jeunesse has products to help you with how you look and feel in a very short time. Nobel-nominated Dr. Vincent Jampapa has designed several products helping the body perform better. Jeunesse products have a 30-day money-back guarantee, and they're available up to a 25% preferred price discount. See all of the amazing Jeunesse products at gcnlife.com or call toll-free 1-844-443-6637, 1-844-443-6637.
I'm here with Scott Useum, founder of OMG Tax. Tell us how your company helps our listeners out there who have a problem with the IRS.
My team of lawyers, enrolled agents, and licensed tax experts remove wage garnishments sometimes in the same day. We even have reduced the total debt some of our clients were required to pay through what is known as an offer in compromise.
Can you give us an example of somebody you help?
Oh, can I ever? We have taken a $500,000 liability with the IRS. Guess what? The client didn't pay a dime through the representation known as non-collectible status with the government.
If you owe the IRS more than $10,000 and you want to see if it's possible to pay a lot less, call OMG Tax right now for a free tax-saving consultation.
Call 800-486-8112. 800-486-8112. 800-486-8112. That's 800-486-8112.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. LRN.fm now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Call in. Talk about whatever's on your mind. It's Mark with you.
And Alex.
The number is 855-450-3733. It's 855-450, free as in freedom. And do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash and cryptocurrencies? Well, now with AnyPay, you can earn passive income for every purchase made at those businesses in cryptocurrency. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash, and you made it happen. So you receive the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. That's anypayinc.com, and this basically makes it so that you can be a salesman for AnyPay and get them adopted at a bunch of businesses and make a bunch of money in the process. anypayinc.com. And I'm excited about it. We're talking about this this press release here from Elizabeth Warren, and she's talking about how to end gun violence, and this bill is going to do it.
Another Democrat gun bill.
Right.
Who would have thought? This time it's going to work. I know it. I'm feeling it.
Yeah. And this is a tough topic because people, the terrible news stories come out and people feel bad and, all that stuff. And, of course, you want to see somebody do something, even if it's pointless.
Let's do something. Reminds me of? It reminds me of you change your Facebook profile. After the terrorism in France, all of a sudden there was French flags overlaid over everyone's profile pictures, right. And everyone felt very good. Oh, we're showing our support. We're making a difference. Do you know what you did?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Absolutely nothing.
And you know what this bill is going to do?
Nothing. So they're going to have stronger gun storage laws. Now, I don't know what I think about that precisely. So obviously people need to store their guns in safe ways because...
You mean like a 75-round magazine?
What do you mean? Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So...
If it's not loaded with 75 rounds, are you safe? That is the question they should be asking. That's when I think safe storage, that's what's on my mind.
Well, I think that people should have these thumbprint safes and stuff if they're going to have kids in the house and those kind of things. But that's really up to the individual if that's what they want to do. Ultimately, it's their family and their lives. I grew up in a house where my dad's gun sat in the closet. So I went in the closet all the time for things, but that was his gun, and I was told not to touch it. And I never did.
Yeah, I think this kind of reminds me of the Catholic schoolgirl trope, right? It's you make something taboo, and the second the kid gets the opportunity, they're going to rush for it. If you lock up guns, hide them away, and just make it this very taboo subject, I think your kid's more likely to play with it the one time you make a mistake and leave your safe unlocked.
I don't even know what causes kids to play with guns. I wish they did some more in-depth stuff with this because as a kid, I never would have.
Yeah.
I just never would have. He told me when you're a certain age, I think it was 8 years old, I got a BB gun. And we're going to go out and we're going to shoot it, and we're going to shoot our guns together, and we're going to learn how to use them and that kind of thing. And I think it was 6 months of only being able to use the gun with him, and then I could take it out and I could go and, shoot tin cans and, the odd bird that was, the odd nuisance bird. They had certain birds that I was supposed to shoot because, they were a nuisance on the farm. I don't think that's politically correct today, but at the time, that's what I was told. And, we did some silly things with our guns. I mean, BB guns. So we do these one cock things where my friends and I would shoot each other with one cock before these airsoft guns. Now, we could have put an eye out, but mostly what we did was shoot each other in the butt with BB guns. And I'm not saying it was a great thing, but at least we understood them at that point.
Builds character.
You don't want to do that with a 22, by the way. So, funding for violence intervention and prevention programs. I have no idea what this means and where it's going to go. I mean, just more programs. Let's have some programs for people. Is this for domestic abuse victims? How do we decide who has to take these programs? Is this in school? Is it for the domestic abusers and their victims? I mean, exactly what it is it?
It's not clear, and I think it's on purpose, right?
Right. Gun bans for domestic abusers and stalkers. Now, this already exists in some places. And I am banned from owning a gun because I am a convicted felon. And what I will say to that is, look, I understand people's fears when it comes to convicted felons possessing guns. I mean, handing out AK-47s to men as they get out of prison doesn't sound like a good idea, does it?
I think they do that in some countries.
I don't know what they do in some countries, but it sounds like a terrible idea. But I think that there needs to be some system for people to be able to reintegrate. So let's say you weren't convicted. You've been free off of all supervision for 5 years and you haven't been convicted of a crime. I think that at that time, you should be able to get your gun rights back. And that's just me making a compromise. If somebody's safe enough to let out of prison, they should be safe enough to have a gun. But I'm just trying to come up with a compromise.
Well, when has compromise worked when it comes to the Second Amendment? It seems like compromise means giving away rights.
Well, at this point, I'd be reclaiming some.
Well,
because at this point, convicts. So I would say
you're coming from a bad. You got to read The Art of the Deal. Right?
No, hold on. Let me back up here because you've asked a question and it's worth pointing out. The 13th Amendment makes involuntary servitude illegal except for a crime.
Yep.
So it basically says that pretty much anything is acceptable for as far as a crime goes. That means banning people from having a gun would be. That's involuntary servitude, right? So that means that they can take my guns away because I'm a convicted felon. I think that the taking away of guns from felons is constitutional. So now we just have to kind of have a conversation of how effective is it?
Yeah, I don't know. I think shall not be infringed. I mean, I'm not a constitutional lawyer, so I can't give the textual analysis, but it seems to me, why not take away all rights for felons then? Why give them any rights? Freedom of speech,
some people believe
voting,
that.
Any of that.
Some people believe that. How do you stop felons from having free speech, I guess? But voting...
You lock them up again.
I guess. I don't know. All I'm saying is that felons get guns all the time. When I was in the United States, I don't know, I'm relatively new here on the island. I don't know if I could find myself a gun in 24 hours. But in the United States, I know I could find a gun within hours. Buy it and possess it. So the law against felons having guns is simply affecting felons who care about that law. Because the felons who don't care about that law are violating it all over the place, which means that it is a stupid, pointless law. Yeah. All it does is give a cop an opportunity to arrest somebody who's done nothing, presumably to prevent them from doing something. And, you know, the majority of people who have guns, that means the majority of felons who have guns, are just have them to protect themselves. Felons are just normal people in many cases. Yes, they've made mistakes, but so have all of you. Everybody listening to me has made a mistake. Likely everybody who's listening, every single person listening to me has committed an offense that would get them landed in prison, a felony that would have their gun rights taken away, if only somebody knew. Now, you may not even know that you've committed a felony. That's the America that we live in. But it's true. Let's see. Ban untraceable and undetectable guns. This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Ban untraceable and undetectable guns. Well, that's not going to work. They're untraceable and undetectable. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, who comes up with this stuff? You just can't do it. We're gonna stop it with a law. No, you're not going to stop it with a law. America has 600 million guns. Wow. There's 2 guns for every human being in the United States.
Sounds good to me.
Well, I mean,
600 million guns and only 30,000 gun deaths a year, half of which are self-inflicted. Sounds like the coronavirus is more deadly than me.
And it's not deadly.
Yeah.
855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. Your thoughts on guns, I'd love to hear them. If somehow I'm missing something here, please inform me. Does Elizabeth Warren have the answers? 855-450-3733. Free Talk Live.
Have you heard of LibertyCon? LibertyCon is not only a convention with great speakers like Whole Foods CEO and co-founder John Mackey and Nobel Prize winner Vernon Smith, but it's also unique because you get a chance to network with more than 70 pro-liberty organizations, one-on-one for the purpose of career advancement, business, and internship opportunities. April 3rd through 5th in Washington, D.C. You can learn more by visiting libertycon.com and use code FTL for a $10 discount on your registration. That's libertycon.com.
Would it be nice to wake up in the morning whenever you want and work whenever you feel like it? Date women under your terms instead of society's? Be a completely free man? I'm Caleb Jones, and I have taught hundreds of thousands of men how to create low-work, high-income businesses and how to date women under your terms. Watch our free, on-demand replay training with me so you can learn how to create location-independent income and date women the way you want. Go to alpha.freetalklive.com.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,574, silver at $17.84, and Bitcoin is trading around $9,538. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, President Donald Trump's Commerce Secretary, Wilbur Ross, on Thursday, suggested the deadly coronavirus that has sparked fears of a global pandemic could have a bright side, at least for the United States. More jobs.
So I think it will help to accelerate the return of jobs to North America, some to U.S., probably some to Mexico as well.
The coronavirus has killed at least 170 people in China and has infected nearly 8,000 more as the Chinese government and other nations have worked to contain the outbreak with travel bans and restrictions. Ross's rosy assessment of potential U.S. economic gains from the virus was immediately denounced as grossly callous. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. Recent reports indicate that data gathered by automakers and tech companies could be the next front in the battle over digital privacy. Activist Post reports that in early January, companies at the CES 2020 displayed their plans for making use of the surprising amounts of data gathered by newer model vehicles. Amazon, Intel, Qualcomm, and BlackBerry were among the companies seeking partnerships with automakers who are also searching for methods to monetize the data gathered by their vehicles. Bloomberg reports that modern cars roll out of factories packed with cellular connections, powerful processors, and a growing suite of sensors, including cameras, radar, and microphones. That's turning them into the next information goldmine, rivaling the data-creating capabilities of smartphones. Bloomberg also notes that Intel announced a new stage of its Mobileye technology, which allows for driver assistance and Intel to gather data from cameras, chips, and sensors within the vehicle. Manhattan-based Clearview AI is collecting data from unsuspecting social media users, and the Chicago Police Department is using the controversial facial recognition tool to pinpoint the identity of unknown suspects. That's according to a report from the Chicago Times. And according to a bombshell New York Times report, it's also being used by the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security. Activist Post reports the software's creator maintains that it's purely an after-the-fact research tool for law enforcement, not a surveillance system or a consumer application. However, privacy advocates are saying the technology is so intrusive and ripe for abuse, its use should be immediately halted. And earlier this month, a lawsuit was filed in federal court seeking to do just that. Chicago attorney Scott Drury, who filed the lawsuit, describes CPD's signing of a 2-year, $49,875 contract with Illinois tech firm CDW Government to use Clearview AI software as frightening. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Hello, this is anchor Doyle Redland. I have just been informed that my 40-year contract with the Onion Radio News expired 2 minutes ago. A brief extension has been added to my contract to allow me to say goodbye to you, my faceless listeners. I've been reading the news out loud on the air for a very long time now, and the words to describe my feelings are difficult to find. Steve, what are you doing? This is my big moment.
I'm getting the word now that you have to leave the studio right now.
But where will I go?
Now.
Well, goodbye, everyone. I'm just coming back for my hat. No, it's my hat. I just need it and I'll go. There's no need to get pushy. Moose! Rocco, I thought we were friends.
Talk Live.
Free Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever's on your mind. It's Mark with you.
And Alex.
Coming from the U.S. Mariana Islands. The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in freedom. Alex, let's just go right to the phones. Let's go to Dave calling in from New Hampshire. Dave, you're on Free Talk Live. Dave, can you hear me now? How about now? Dave in New Hampshire. Well, going to have to hold off on Dave then. Don't know what's going on exactly. Let's see if Jimmy can be heard here. Jimmy, you're on Free Talk Live. Nope, that might be something at the studio for all I know. So we're reading through this this list of proposals from Elizabeth Warren, and I think it's worth going through lists like this because the gun grabbers out there are certainly people out there that want to take your guns, right, Alex?
Yep.
And those people have their reasons. And I think on the surface it sounds like a good idea. People are using guns to shoot people. Let's take the guns away. Then they'll just be standing there moving their finger, right?
Yeah.
Suddenly they won't be
work.
deadly. But the arguments for this don't really hold much water to my mind. And now my argument would be, look, I get it. Common sense gun laws sounds like a great idea. The problem is that the Second Amendment to the Constitution says shall not be infringed. And the government, the Constitution is supposed to be a limit on the government. And while we're going to play this game called government, y'all should follow the rules.
Yep.
And the rules say shall not be infringed. And by that means shall not be infringed. So if a politician can propose to violate, in this case, the highest law in the land, what should happen to that person? Well, nothing. The Constitution has no teeth. It doesn't say we should drag them out by their hair onto the White House lawn and lop their heads off at high noon. It doesn't say that.
Ah, man.
But that's what the founders did effectively, right? They were willing to shoot their government center of mass.
Yeah, that's what I call them, the redcoats,
charged,
right?
What's that?
That's what I call them, the redcoats.
Right. When their government charged at them, attempting to enforce its laws, they put pointy metal knives on top of their guns, and they stabbed them repeatedly over and over again. That's what they thought of those laws. So, we need to change these rules. If you're not going to abide by these rules, you need to change them. You need to go through the process. And they're not going to go through the process because they can't. So they're just going to be like, oh, let's just make a bunch of rules. And maybe the Supreme Court will say it's constitutional. And if it doesn't, so what? It stops some violence for a little while. And
that's why they hate Trump. The real reason they hate Trump is because what he's done to the judiciary. Putting in all those Federalist Society judges has set them back decades. And all of these measures they're taking now is just the angst they have from it as a result.
So I don't have any particular, thoughts. As far as I'm concerned, every single one of these things that she proposes is unconstitutional and should not be allowed in a country that has, the Second Amendment. So let's go on here. Large capacity ammunition feeding devices. Does that mean large capacity magazines?
Yep.
Okay. This is one that has actually been implemented in several different locations. I think here on the in the Mariana Islands, I think it's a 10-round limit, but everybody's got 30-round clips.
Not me. I would never violate those laws.
But
everyone else though.
Connecticut, I think California, they have these large magazine ammunition bans. So what is this? It seems like this one on its surface seems like it has the most credibility. Well, we don't want shooters to have 30 rounds, so we'll limit them to 10.
Yeah, they're betting on the inability of shooters to reload.
at least quickly, right? So I think the response to that would be, well, reloading's good because it gives the good guy with a gun a chance to stand up and shoot. Presumably, they can't reload quickly. If I was a shooter, I guess I would practice a little bit, but maybe they haven't practiced.
Or just not comply with the ban, right? If you're going to go commit a bunch of felonies by killing people, will the ban really stop you?
I would say that the same argument is true for magazines as it is for guns. There are enough 30-round magazines out there, enough
75 rounds,
enough of these barrel rounds out there that, well, if they want it, they're going to get it.
Yeah.
But I can kind of this is the one that I can kind of see. The one that I think they have the most credence on is these big clips. I'm going to try Jamie again here. See if the board ops got up. Jamie, you're on Free Talk Live. I'm wondering if it's one of these potentiometers that I have. Jamie, you're on Free Talk Live. Nope.
Yes.
Looks like.
Ma'am?
Oh, I hear noises.
Hello.
Hello. What's on your mind?
I ain't no felon, so speak for yourself. But it's safe to say the founders, not to mention the framers of the Constitution.
Look, James in Arizona, Whit, if you want to call into the show, I'm going to tell you how to do it. Apologize for threatening my family with violence. Apologize for threatening to kill me, and then you can get back on the air. Until then, I don't care to hear from you. 855-450-3733. It's a shame, too. Sometimes, every once in a while, the guy would make a good call and make some really great points. But, I'm not gonna deal with that kind of stuff. So, let's go on here with the list. Making gun trafficking a federal crime.
Is it not already a federal crime?
It doesn't really matter. I mean, where I would presume it is, but...
I think trafficking is a legal term, right?
Yeah.
Can you traffic something legally?
No.
I'm trafficking this box of soda from the store to your house. I'm a delivery man.
Yeah, no. So trafficking must mean moving things around illegally, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. And does this count the federal government when they do it?
No, that's different.
No.
When they're selling weapons to Saudi Arabia, that's business.
Well, what about when they give them to Mexican gun cartels?
Or the Operation Fast and Furious under Obama?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. For administration so pro-gun control, they were giving away guns to criminals, felons.
Strange behavior. Extreme risk protection order systems. What the hell?
That's the red flag law.
I see. Yeah, now the red flag law is... That one has to be the most blatantly unconstitutional proposal out there. We're going to decide if somebody's a danger. You can report somebody, and we'll decide whether they're a danger. Now, I mean, how in the world is a local government, a state government, a federal government, you pick, how are they going to determine whether somebody's a danger or not? Is it immediately when somebody reports them? All right, you have an immediate 72-hour hold on possessing your guns. We're going to come get them, and then we're going to take a look at you and whatever information we have on you, decide whether or not you're going to commit crimes and stuff. And then we're going to decide whether we can take your guns away from you for 2 years. I mean...
It's whatever they can get away with.
Right.
If
Immediately
everybody's... straight for a report to confiscation, they will.
Right.
If the state's a little more gun-friendly, they might have to go through the court process.
Well, this will be a federal, if Elizabeth Warren has any say on it. Because this is what politics is.
Good thing she doesn't.
Politics is a threat. It's forcing people that you don't agree with to do the things you want to do. And that's why the liberals and that's why the big government Republicans love Washington, D.C. Because life in Wyoming is different than life in New Jersey, but they can't accept that. 855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynovite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynovite.
Everything we tried failed except
the Dynavite.
Pick up 2 bottles of Super Mega Fish Oil.
Get the 3rd bottle free. Packed with omega-3, DHA, and EPA fatty acids.
Super Mega is great for your dog's immune system, healthy skin, and soft, shiny fur.
Dogs love it. Try Super Omega Fish Oil.
Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynavite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Hi, I'm Derek J. I don't want a politician to represent me. To me, government is the idea that one group of people can coerce everyone to comply with an edict or face increasing punishments up to and including death. Despite perhaps the most noble of intentions, the best government services are a far cry from what could be provided for by voluntary interactions. Besides, the people who call themselves the government wage wars and put peaceful people in jail for crimes involving no victims. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you get the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. anypayinc.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Talk Live. Call in. Talk about whatever's on your mind. We're talking about this list of, really and compelling reasons why we should ban guns, according to Elizabeth Warren. And I guess she's got some other guy here. Hank Johnson. Watch out for that guy, too, whoever he is. It's Mark with you.
And Alex.
The number is 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to spend, earn, store, and exchange digital money in seconds. Divvy says it'll be able to send money around the globe in only a swipe and instantly exchange between Divvy and Bitcoin and US dollars or whatever government currency you have right there in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. There's no need to wait, though, as Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with their multi-tiered master notes. So you can begin earning Divvy right now by supporting their network. Let's see. When the new Divvy wallet launches, because of Divvy's relationship with Western Union, Divvy will be in 200 countries, including the United States. You can learn more at Divvy Project. That's D-I-V-I, divvyproject.org. And it's a great project, and I'm glad that Free Talk Live got hooked up with it. So let's go on here, since we don't seem to have any calls on the line. Let's go on with this list from Elizabeth Warren.
List of reasons not to reelect Elizabeth Warren.
That's exactly right. And, it's worth pointing out, as you said, Alex, that rifles kill fewer people in the United States than hammers do.
Yeah.
I mean, all this hullabaloo.
Why don't we have common sense hammer restrictions?
Right. I mean, is that the next thing that they do in the UK?
It looks like it.
They already have knives without points.
Yeah.
Now, I do kind of wonder what a kitchen knife needs a point for. How many times have I used a point when, say, carving a roast or something? And I can't really think of too often. Unpointed knife is probably just as effective, but it's laughable nonetheless.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't even bother trying to empathize with them or get into their logic.
So she wants stronger liability for gun manufacturers. How about stronger liability for hammer manufacturers?
Sounds good to me. It's common sense, right?
Stronger liability for knife manufacturers. Stronger liability for car manufacturers.
How about stronger liability for government schools?
Right. There's a really great point. If you went and polled the people in prison based on which schools they went, I'll bet you that government schools are overrepresented. That leads me to believe that government schools lead to prison.
Yeah, it's logical, right?
So,
common sense logic.
Are the politicians who set up this egregious system that leads our children into prison, are they responsible for this in any way?
By their reasoning, they should be.
Well, they should be, but
you have no agency. You're not responsible for your actions. Someone else is. And if they're going to pick the someone, it's time we start picking the someone too.
Right. And if politicians were simply held responsible for their laws and actions, things would change entirely. Because suddenly they wouldn't want to be involved at all.
Yeah, and that's why that's unlikely to happen, right? If you had to pay back the billions of dollars you wasted, there would be no one running for office.
Right, because they have no responsibility, they act in, wait for it, an irresponsible fashion.
Wow.
And it's our fault. It's our fault for letting it happen. That's the end of the story. There's no other way to describe it.
How do you not let it happen, Mark? What can some average American do to not let it happen?
I think that basically all you can do is withdraw your consent as best you can. And for me, that meant picking up and leaving the United States. I'm glad to be in the U.S. Mariana Islands, so I'm in sort of the quasi-United States.
Yeah.
And, to me, I just don't have to deal with this stuff as much. I don't have to worry about your presidential election that's coming up as much. I don't have to think about your impeachment thing that's coming up as much. I'm just going on and enjoying the beautiful weather here. Some have called the most beautiful weather in the world, and enjoying it. I don't need to deal with that stuff. And if the politicians just had fewer people pay attention to them, I think that might be effective. But at the very least, jeer at them.
Yeah, stop making them feel important.
Throw the rotten tomato at them.
Oh, don't do that.
I'm talking about the
metaphorical
rotten tomato at them. I don't even know where you get rotten tomatoes. I guess you just let it sit around, but then you got to carry it with you. It'd be disgusting. Just make fun of them and all their little acolytes. So these politicians aren't in office because nobody believes with them. Half of America believes what these people are saying. The they're younger, they live in cities, they went to universities, they were educated by, frankly, a bunch of professors who are either insane or too scared to say otherwise.
Sounds about right.
And you went through this, you got your master's in education.
Yeah.
And you went through all this process. And what's your estimation on it?
Yeah, it's all about incentives, like most things. So when you're a professor, you have a PhD, and often you have a PhD in an esoteric subject. So you spent a ton of money and a ton of time becoming a specialist in your very niche field, and there's often not many unemployment opportunities outside academia. So you're sort of stuck. You have to comply with what academia wants from you.
Right. I will say that this happened, as I understand it, to Jason Sorens, the founder of... I need to get him on for an interview to be entirely clear, but I heard him talking about it. The founder of the Free State Project, he basically was let go from Dartmouth and blackballed in the region because he does not believe exactly as all their other professors believe. They said nothing to do with his work. It was his beliefs.
Yeah, it's a wrong think. You can't have wrong think if you want to get tenure. And if you don't get tenure, well, your career is basically over. You'll just be jumping from school to school on 2-year contract to 2-year contract, making less than you would make had you not gotten your PhD or your master's. So the incentive is really perverse. You just need to pump out those critical theory papers.
What is critical theory?
Critical theory is a neo-Marxist ideology that's...
Well, that sounds awful.
Oh, it's wonderful. So your kids will be learning in a few years when he goes to college.
Why send him to college then? So what is it now? Explain it to me.
Yeah, so critical theory is basically the idea that there's power structures everywhere and they're responsible for everything that's going wrong. So you can pick any subject, any industry, anything, and they'll find
that
the power.
Sounds right to me. There are power structures everywhere, and they are often responsible for everything that's going wrong. I mean, we're just talking about here how gun laws are creating perverse incentives, right? So,
well, the critical theory take on gun laws would be that, the founding fathers were a bunch of white men, and in order to continue oppressing everyone, they wanted to make sure they were all well armed.
Well, all the people, hold on, all the people that wrote all the gun laws that we have in the United States taking away rights to guns, the majority of them were white men, right? So people who are robbing us of our rights to own guns, robbing minorities of their rights to own guns are white men, right?
No, see, the thing about critical theory is everyone's wrong. Both sides. We'll get more when we come back. The number is
855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in Free Talk Live. I can definitely say that I have found the best cryptocurrency wallet. Certainly the best named one. I'm Mark Edge, and I love the Edge wallet. I've been using it for the last few months. You can buy, sell, trade, and hold your cryptocurrency securely. I trust my holdings of all the major cryptocurrencies to Edge wallet, and you should too. No long phrases to memorize, just a username and password. Secure your freedom with Edge wallet. Get it now on Apple or Android in the App Store or at edge.app.
Have you heard of LibertyCon? LibertyCon is not only a convention with great speakers like Whole Foods CEO and co-founder John Mackey and Nobel Prize winner Vernon Smith, but it's also unique because you get a chance to network with more than 70 pro-liberty organizations, one-on-one for the purpose of career advancement, business, and internship opportunities. April 3rd through 5th in Washington, D.C. You can learn more by visiting LibertyCon.com and use code FTL for a $10 discount on your registration. That's LibertyCon.com. On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you AMP Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
Are you tired of your taxes funding endless occupations around the world? Antiwar.com is run by people who understand that wars abroad become wars at home, wars on our freedoms. Antiwar.com is dedicated to bringing you the latest in news, views, interviews, and reviews from the top movers and shakers in the anti-occupation movement. Antiwar.com has it all, from thorough foreign policy analysis to interviews with whistleblowers who used to run the military-industrial complex. Anti-war, pro-free market. That's antiwar.com.
What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191. The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live, coming to you live from the U.S. Mariana Islands. It's Mark with you.
And Alex.
The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in freedom. I want to tell you about the AMP program. If you go to amp.freetalklive.com, that's AMP, amp.freetalklive.com. I want to thank all our amplifiers. Then you will, in fact, be able to support the show. Now, Free Talk Live is unlike any other show on the radio. There's nothing out there like us. No other show is giving you the opportunity to call in and talk about what you want to talk about. And no other show is propagating the ideas of liberty like we are. So go to amp.freetalklive.com and support what we do at amp.freetalklive.com. Let's go to Mike calling in from Washington. Mike, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hi. Boy, I'm jealous about your moving. I looked that place up, and I'm really happy for you that you're able to get away from this cesspool that our country's becoming. I was going to get on either the post office or a needle exchange program in Aberdeen, Washington. The needle exchange program, I've talked about it a bunch of times. They're giving out lots of needles. Guys are loading them. They're making money. They're selling them. There's money being made by the county, or something's going on there. But recently, we reelected a new mayor in Aberdeen, Washington. That's where Kurt Cobain came from, if anybody wants to look him up. And what has happened is the new mayor does not want our needle exchange program in the city, and I understand it, because it's creating a terrible environment for the people that do what they're supposed to, but they're still getting walked all over, because no matter how good of a citizen you are, you're at the end of their caring. So what happened today on the radio at KBKW, a county commissioner came on there, and somebody called in and said, hey, the mayor doesn't want that needle exchange program here. What are you going to do about that? And he said, well, that's pretty much basically what he said was too bad, because we're giving the needles out on a piece of property that belongs to the county. So they're just like overriding the mayor. And something I noticed in that area is that everybody that's on the county, except, well, there's 3 county commissioners, 2 of them have family members in different cities throughout the county. And I just think the whole thing is getting like more and more and more corrupt, because that wife of a county commissioner that's on the city council that takes care of the people up on the hill, that district in the city, the rich people, she's privy to information, upcoming things that county commissioner knows from the state of Washington, which to me means that they've got to be, it just seems wrong. Like it's a corrupt, does that make sense?
So what kind of problems is this needle exchange program creating? Like what I can say is this. Hold on. I just want to talk about this for a second. So at one point in my life when I had some pigs, I needed to give shots. And getting needles was a bit of a problem. And I had to go to the vet, basically, to get all my needles. And then I'd keep them sharp with like a piece of emery cloth, so that I could, properly poke a pig. And it was difficult. So it would have been nice to have a needle exchange for me. But explain to me what the problems it's creating.
So the problem it's creating is the county they got a $57,000 grant to extend the needle exchange program. Nobody wants it, but the 2 out of 3 county commissioners do want it. And what they're doing is they're giving out a box of needles to each heroin addict. And I have sympathy for people with drug addictions, and I think they should have a clean needle. Except what's really happening is they're taking them to their boy. He's loading them up with $5 hits of heroin, and they're actually so the county's providing a small business opportunity for drug addicts and people that want to get their dope for free, instead of giving them the actual help that they need, or just letting them buy a needle from a store someplace, and then they've added like these 150 tents to the community that they bought, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And the citizen that stops at the stop sign and does everything he's supposed to do and goes in and pays his bill on time and all that is just screwed. He's like doesn't even exist in that community.
At some point or another, if you provide all the services for the lowest class citizens, at some point or another, you're going to drive out the other classes. Because
and that's what's happening. And that's what's happening. Yeah. All the services are in that town. They would never put it in where the county. I just think the county should put everything on county property, because they're the ones that are in charge of it, but they're making the cities. And it's becoming a town that people don't even want to go to anymore.
That's how it works. Thanks for the call, Mike. Appreciate it. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. I get that people want to help the most underprivileged people in society. I mean, that's what our whole society is based on. That's what Christianity is all about, right? Jesus said, take care of the poor. But at the same time, all these genuflections surrounding people taking care of the poor can cause a lot of problems. I've lived in a town where basically there's no homeless people. Why? Because they go to the next town over where they've got a really great soup kitchen. So, if you're poor and you can walk or you can hitchhike, you're going to go to where the services are. So the more services you offer, and this is what's happening out west especially, pretty much the whole West Coast is just inundated at this point. Major cities are dealing with bums with their tents on the sidewalks, pooping in terrible places. Nothing nice about it.
Yeah, San Francisco recently hired a professional poop cleaner. It's like one of their government positions now, because it's the human feces, not dogs. We're talking humans, are going to the bathroom on the streets so much. They need to hire someone full time. And they expanded recently. I believe they have up to 3 workers now. So if you incentivize something, you'll get more of it. And that's what these, unfortunately, these seemingly well-intentioned, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. At a certain point, you have to wonder, if it keeps not working and you keep doing more, what is the end goal really here? But let's assume they're well-intentioned folks.
Yeah, I think they are. I think that that's what I think. I'm going to assume the same thing. But if they... it's like they don't understand. And the Supreme Court has basically backed them up. State Supreme Courts, the U.S. Supreme Court has made it clear that it's free speech to stand in the middle of a median and hold a sign that asks for money. And then people give them money. And that's tax-free, so they're not paying Social Security or any Medicare or anything like that.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty wild, the current state of homelessness in the U.S., and it's getting worse and worse. Despite more homeless shelters opening, more needle programs, more of all these things that are supposed to fix, it's still getting worse. And I think it's time we start to ask about alternative solutions that have better incentives and better results.
Right. And I mean, there are some cases where they get homeless people back on their feet and working and doing these sorts of things. There's no doubt. But, that doesn't make the program efficient. If it's doing that 70% of the time, then, oh, man, then let's dump some money into that. But it's not.
You know what the real problem with all of it is? It's those millionaires and billionaires, right?
Right. It's always the millionaires and billionaires. Let's blame them for more things.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really pretty ridiculous. If somebody's a millionaire, they have nothing to do with your homeless problem. They're not hoarding the money from these people. These people have no work ethic. They don't have a job. How are they going to earn money?
Well, if the millionaires didn't all buy multiple homes, there'd be enough for everyone else.
No. If the millionaires didn't buy homes, then they'd just leave their money in earning money so that they could, run their businesses or buy Lear jets or, these sorts of things. Remember, homes are built by working class people. Jets are built by working class people. Yachts are built by working class people. Millionaires benefit us. And I think that, to me, it's not nobody should live that way. To me, it's everybody should live that way. But the homeless, look, I've been rich and I've been poor. And I can tell you it was my actions that brought me there, not somebody else's. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. I guess I've never been rich by rich people's standards, but I've been better off.
Yeah.
855-450-FREE. Final segment of Free Talk Live.
With more people listening to radio than visit Google, Facebook, or YouTube, from the very young to the very old, everyone listens to radio. Pillow companies, alarm, identity theft, nutrition, insurance, banking, automotive. The list goes on and on. Billion-dollar businesses. Why? The answer is radio. The media everyone tunes into. Find out how effective and affordable radio can be for your business. Contact 877-996-4327 or advertise at gcnlive.com.
Warning, don't let your business get left behind in what is likely to be the biggest economic boom in recent history. If you need to build for your business to grow, call General Steel today for a pre-engineered steel building designed for your needs. No wasted space. Steel prices are expected to rise, but you can still lock in your price on a General Steel building. And you can still save as much as half the cost and time of conventional construction. As much as half. But you must call now. If you need a church building, office, warehouse, manufacturing space, retail space, or more, call General Steel today. You can still get the General's 50-year structural warranty and General Steel quality, all at a price you can afford. So don't let rising steel prices put your project out of reach and stop you from making your company great.
800-965-1295. 800-965-1295. 800-965-1295. That's 800-965-1295.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agrishosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agris Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agrishosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agrishosting.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever's on your mind. Might be able to squeeze you in. Maybe. The number is 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live. It's Mark with you.
And Alex.
Coming to you live from the U.S. Mariana Islands. I want to tell you about Fork Fest. Fork Fest is a party that we're having at Rogers Campground. Free Talk Live is going to be there, but it's a lot of folks. You know, people who listen, people who don't listen, I'm sure. Forkfest.party is the website. That's forkfest.party. It'll be over the 4th of July weekend. So please come out and join us. Check out all the information that's to be had at forkfest.party. There's no admission, and you can do what you want. Just a camping festival, just having fun. So you got to rent your campground, but we're not getting that money. We're just having fun. Forkfest.party. Let's go to the phones. Got Tom in Florida calling in. Tom, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, I've got three quick questions about the Mariana Islands.
Excellent.
So
Alex is an expert.
So I assume you have good internet there, because if you're doing a radio show, I'm assuming this is somehow going over the internet.
This is definitely going over the internet.
Okay.
There's some kind of pipeline, Alex, from Japan.
Yeah.
It's a fiber optic pipeline.
Yeah.
So
wow, that's
as good
great,
as it gets.
I mean, you sound like you're in the studio like normal. I would never have known unless you said it. Secondly, does Amazon deliver there?
Yes, Amazon does deliver, but the shipping speed may be a little slower than you're used to.
Also,
well, I'm almost sold. You've got two of my three things.
Hold on. There's one thing. Things with lithium-ion batteries we're having a little bit of trouble with. So that may be an issue here. So you may not be able to buy anything on Amazon with lithium-ion batteries. We're not entirely sure yet.
Well, I bought a computer with a lithium-ion battery last week.
Okay.
A laptop. So maybe it depends on how big the battery is or something.
Okay. Go ahead, Tom.
And the third question is, what does it cost for just like a typical home? I know, Mark, you have a family and all that. So are you like renting a home, or do you own a home there? Or how much would it cost like per month for someone just for like housing there?
I'm staying in a 1-bedroom, 1-bath in a, average section of town. I'm not where the rich folks are, but I've got a nice view. 1-bedroom, 1-bath for $430. That includes sewer, water, and trash pickup.
Wow, that's crazy. And there's the climate there. You're saying they don't have like a rainy season like a lot of the
They do have a rainy season. Yeah. So it will rain here, but the temperature almost never peaks above 88 and almost never drops below 70. So it's the Guinness Book of World Records named U.S. Mariana Islands as the most consistent weather in the world. I presume Guam falls into this too, the Mariana, because Guam is a Mariana island, but it's not part of the northern Mariana
So if I wanted
Islands.
to get a lot more information, does Alex have a book or a YouTube channel or a website where I could get more information about this?
If you're interested in moving as part of the crypto cluster, you can go to our subreddit, r/cryptofrontier, or you can contact us at cryptofrontier.org and send a contact form.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. The number, 855-450-3733. Let's go to David calling in from New Mexico. David, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, I think I got one of your trolls with the possible initials of JK texting me. Anyway, out of Arizona, that is. So I was going to talk about this hearing. I had a telephonic hearing today on this KUNM radio, University of New Mexico, that wants to put me in prison. Had a telephonic hearing for an appearance, and it was kind of interesting. But since you're talking about Mariana Islands, what do they have? Like here in the States, we have national forest, national seashore, stuff like that, where you can just go camping. So, like if you go down to Texas, you got Padre Island National Seashore, and there's plenty of others. And you can go camp there. There may be a fee or there may not be a fee, and it's always reasonable. And it's undeveloped. It's just, if you want to be in nature and go swim and dive, snorkel, fish, whatever. On the islands there, are there comparable things like to that?
Yeah, I believe it's called Mahaga Island. It's a short boat ride out, maybe half a mile or so, and for $15 you can get a permit, although they don't really enforce that, so many people just camp out for free.
There's also the Forbidden Island. There's Old Man by the Sea. Most of the Northern Mariana Islands is basically hikeable stuff. You can go out there, you can camp, and there's not going to be any problems, no issues, no one's going to care or anything like that. Saipan is the most built-up island, whereas it was the site of a great World War II battle, but you can't tell that now, except a few cannons and maybe the odd tank here and there. But the whole northern part of the island is reserved as a preserve of sorts. They've got some red-bellied sapsucker or something like that that's out there that's endangered, and so that's basically for hiking. I went on the Old Man by the Sea hike recently, and you can look that up on Google and see an image search of Old Man by the Sea. And to me, it was the most exciting hike I've been on in a long time. I hiked for it was raining. I shouldn't have gone on it. It was drizzling, but it was Saturday morning and I wanted to hike. And so I hiked for about 15 minutes. They had some ropes. I mean, it was moderate difficulty, so I had to get up and down some little hills and gullies and stuff. And when I came out of the canopy of the forest, first I see this plant that's just full of these big purple flowers. So purple flowers covering the ground. I turn, I can see Old Man by the Sea, which is this rock formation that looks like a guy's head, and that's neat. And, there's this beach where, the waves are crashing around this Old Man by the Sea. And then after I've had a chance to look around, I find a cave that's there, like a real cave, a real walk-into cave. And you just don't find that much. You don't walk 15 minutes in a hike, find a glorious view of a rock formation, looks like a face, a flower-covered landscape, and a cave all at once. I mean, that's a big payoff for a short hike, and I can only imagine everything else pales in comparison.
So then, if a person is a backpacker and they fly in with your backpack camping gear, like you would if you were flying into the Appalachians or whatever, going to go hike for a couple of weeks, or if you're going to fly into whatever state and go to their natural areas. So there's areas, plenty of areas that you can get off the plane, get a ride to whatever natural area, and begin your little adventure without having to pay $15, $20 a night to set up a tent or something like that.
Best I can tell, there's no one to pay it to.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, somebody will take your money always, everywhere, but I don't know how you pay it. And when I came in, that's the first thing I did. First off, as a U.S. citizen walking in, I felt like a VIP. I mean, they did everything but wave palm branches behind me as I'm wandering in, because everybody else on this plane from Hong Kong Express is some kind of Asian and has to go through some kind of U.S. Customs and Border Patrol check. Not me.
Did you when they welcomed you? Did you get laid?
They don't do the laying quite as much here, but they've got the shirts. they do their some kind of crown of flowers that they have, and it's cool. It's fun. And I told the guy that I'm here to hike your northern islands, and if I get lost, if you read about it in the news, it was me. And he's like, "All right, man." He just thought it was great.
Did you hike their Appalachian Trail? Wink, wink.
I've been on the Appalachian Trail, but I haven't gone long enough to say that I have hiked the Appalachian Trail.
That's another political joke. All your listeners got it, but you must have missed that one.
Appalachian.
Yeah, hiking the Appalachian Trail is a euphemism for, Google it. And,
okay, please Google it. Please don't tell me, David.
Right.
David, I do want to hear about the hearings, and I'm very interested. So what happened with you briefly is that for whatever reason, some NPR affiliate down in New Mexico disallowed you from calling into their show where you're paying for the college, you're paying for the radio station, you're paying for everything as a taxpayer, but then they didn't want you to call in. Okay, fine and dandy. You called in on another show, and then they're claiming that's a violation of a court order, which says nothing of the sort. And you've got a hearing coming up on that, and I'm interested in hearing more about that, but I can't do it right now. Thank you for the call, David.
Right on.
Check us out at freetalklive.com. Sign up for our newsletter.
What good is living in a free society if you don't live a free life? Being stuck in a job or being locked into a relationship, but you're not free to do what you want. I'm Caleb Jones, and I have taught hundreds of thousands of men how to create low-work, high-income businesses and how to date women under your terms. Watch our free, on-demand replay training with me so you can learn how to create location-independent income and date women the way you want. Go to alpha.freetalklive.com.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide.